Okay, so court today. So I waited all day long. I got there at 8:30 in the morning and I waited all day long to go back for this hearing. In the morning, I heard them call Gino's name to go back to check in. And around the same time, I happened to see Adam. And I asked if he was there for our hearing, by chance, and he said no, he didn't. I don't even think he opened his email to know that we had a hearing today. Who knows? He said he was there for an ICC. Well, then, later in the afternoon, I'm finally called back for this hearing, and Gino never shows up. He never showed up. This basically just shows and proves that he and Eric Dee believe that they are above the law. They believe that they are above the law, and this is just in any arena in Westmoreland County, and they didn't show up. So anyways, Adam did show up to the hearing because I did file the recusal this morning while I was there, and so I was surprised to see Adam, as he cannot return any message or do anything about any of these crazy things happening with my kids. So thanks for showing up, Adam. I'm sure you will bill for your case off of our lives for showing up today. So I thanked him for being there. I was surprised he was there, and then I got a chance to bash him, basically not intentional, but it is what it is. And the whole time saying, when I'm telling the judge, I'm saying Adam already knows this. Adam already knows these things. So anyways, they did everything wrong. I was supposed to be trying to get a protection from abuse order for my kids against Gino and Melissa, and a protection abuse order for me against Gino and Melissa. However, they only put Gino on the PFA, and I was wondering about this already. But regardless, he didn't show up, so it doesn't matter. But I will talk more about that. Basically, I'm going to get the transcript because so much information was covered, and it's all relatable to everything happening to me and my kids in this entire situation. Basically, we covered everything A to Z, and everything, basically. But I do want to say about this guy, Kevin, so there's only one spot here right next to the courthouse, toll parking, and I'm, maneuvering there, parallel park. I'm getting ready to get out of my car. I'm looking for change, and I look over and I see a guy who's putting money in my meter. So I'm like, open my door. It may have already been open. I don't know. I said, thank you, because I need change. And I thought the guy looked familiar, but I don't know. He's standing there with a young girl who looks like she's, 13 or 14. And they're real happy and real smiley, nicey nice. So then I'm looking for more change. She put an hour's worth. I put in 2 hours. And so then everyone's waiting to go inside the courthouse, and they open 8:30, and I walk past him, I see him, and I was like, thank you, for paying for my parking. And I'm looking at him, I feel like I know this guy, through the courts or something. I just feel like I've seen this person before, but I don't know. And so I'm like, do I know you somehow, And are you an attorney? No. He's telling me where, he's from. I have no idea, So then we go in, and then 2 hours go by, and I'm realizing, okay, I need to go pay my parking because it's a 2-hour limit. So I tell them, they're like, yeah, we don't know when you're going back. We'll just run down and pay your toll and come right back. Even though I didn't go before the judge for hours later. So I go down there, and I have 4 or 5 minutes left, and this guy is out there. He's parked behind me. I see his daughter smiling at me in the car. So basically he starts giving me more change to put into the meter. And so somehow we start talking, and I was trying to make it quick because I felt like I had to get back upstairs to the courtroom just in case they called me back. So we're talking. I think he said his name was Kevin. He just looks like an average Joe, you know, super friendly, smiley. And he's trying to tell me, I guess maybe he was there for PFA court. He's trying to tell me how, you know, his wife keeps trying to get him in trouble. So she must have a PFA against him because they took ICCs first, but she keeps trying to get him in trouble and blah, 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 blah. And, or his ex-wife, and how he's got full custody of his daughter, blah, blah, blah. So red flag. And I was like, oh, you do? I was like, who is your judge? So he's trying to tell me that it's Judge Silvis, who is my PFA judge, and who has been our PFA judge since day one of our separation, over 3 years ago. So I'm like, it's not Judge Silvis. That's, I guess, maybe who he was before today, and I just didn't notice because I was back in this waiting area with the plaintiffs, hidden off like all day. I hate that waiting room. It's the worst waiting area of the entire courthouse, depending on what you're waiting on, I guess. But anyways, so he tells me, so I'm like, who is your, you know, Judge Silvis? He's like, oh, my custody case was a long time ago. It's been a couple of years now. And I was like, who is your custody judge? Is it a woman? And he was like, yes, her name's Judge Benoni. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, did she see her mom at all? He's like, well, her mom's a heroin addict. And I'm like, okay, like, and I was like trying to like be like, you need to work this out and let this girl see her mom. And then he throws out heroin addict. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know your situation, you know, but I also know men lie, and this is crazy, you know. How am I meeting another person? And I said that today in court. I said, I filed this recusal today because he's like, have you filed a contempt motion? Have you filed, you know, emergency hearing? I'm like, yes. And the emergency is scheduled 2 months out. And so now I have no other choice but to try to get a new judge again. Like, Your Honor, this is where you work. This is who has control over my kids. And something needs to be done here. Like, something needs to change. So anyways, I am going to get that transcript, and I will maybe do another video later, and maybe I will file another protection abuse order, trying to get one for Melissa just to try. But which he said, you know, we'll have to take this up in custody court, which I already told him what's going to happen. It's going to be denied like everything unless a miracle should occur. But I was thinking about this Kevin dude, and I thought it was by chance that I met him. Total by chance. But now I'm like thinking later, like, is this like some weird setup? I don't know, because like I said, he doesn't appear to be driving an Escalade or anything of the sort. So anyways, interesting, and I am going to get this transcript because I feel like, for whatever it's worth, it's important to my case. Everything that was said today, it just sums up so much, and I hope that things change. And I mean, I don't know, because we're just not being kept safe here is the problem, and we're continuing to be kept from each other, and God knows what all is happening. But maybe I will do a video later about the Honorable Judge Silvis and the court, what happened today, where Gino didn't even show up because he thinks he's above the law, which I guess Adam was there to protect him, to be like saying I didn't serve it correctly. Yes, I did. And he's like, well, did Eric ever respond? And I said, in which I overnighted it to Gino, and then I emailed it to Eric and Adam. And I said, no, he never responds, you know. But I did send it to him. Neither of these dudes, Eric and Adam, ever respond to anything. They just allow all of these things to go on, which I did get to touch base about the one time he did respond to Adam, when he was hitting me when I was down, when my dad had died and I was in Ohio. dealing with that, and that's a whole nother story. But we got to talk about the church. We covered all aspects today, and I will get the transcript and I will share it. It's important for whatever it's worth.